Good morning, 8Cs, receiving school students and teachers. Good morning. You may take your seats, thank you. All right, we're still on our strand and substrand class, receiving students. Our outcome for our lesson, outcome 8.1.3. All right, our topic for today's lesson, how people use their resources. Now, before we move on to our topic, we're going to have a short quiz. All right, receiving students, we will have a short quiz before we move on to our topic. All right, quickly into your exercise books, class. Right, receiving students, take your exercise books out. Right, number 1, let's say 1 up to 5. Okay, we have 2 quizzes, all right. Quiz number 1, A, B, C, and D. Quiz number 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right, let me put it this way. All right, quiz 1, A, B, C, D. And quiz 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we're just going to write our answers. Receiving students. Now it says, quiz number 1, write down whether the statements are true or false. So you write whether true. If the statement is true, you write true. If the statement is false, you write false. All right? All right, number 1, 1A. Natural resources are useful to people. Write your answer down. Receiving students, your answer, whether true or false. That's A. B, natural resources are made by people. True or false? C, renewable resources can be used only once. Is that statement true or false? Just write your answer. Is it true or false? Renewable resources can be used only once. All right, D, there are no natural resources in the sea. There are no natural resources in the sea. Is that true or false? Right, you write your answer. So you've just written down your answers, true or false, for A up to D. Have you done that, class? Good. Now we move on to quiz 2. All right, quiz 2, it says, write down the words that best fit the definitions on the screen. Write down the words that best fit the definitions on the screen. Number 1, anything we use. Write the best word that fits this definition. What's the word? Quiz 2, number 1. Anything we use. All right, write your answer down. Receiving students. All right, number 2, resources that can be replaced. What is the best word that fits this definition? Resources that can be replaced. What are they called? Write your answer. Number 2. Number 3, resources that cannot be replaced. Resources that cannot be replaced. What are they called? Your answer. Write your answer down. And number 4, resources found naturally in the environment. What are they called? Resources that are found naturally in the environment. So have you got your answers down, class? All right, remember this is just a quiz and it requires you to write your answers down, your own answers. All right, let's go through the answers. Okay, give the answer for quiz number 1. A, true or false? Please, Naomi, read out your answer. Read the statement and your answer, please.
Natural resources are useful to people. True.
True. The answer is true. Good. B, Stephen.
Natural resources are made by men. False.
Natural resources are made by people. False. They are not made by people. They are found in nature. See? Rose? False. Renewable resources can be used only once. False. And the last one, there are no natural resources in the sea. Michael? Quickly.
False.
False. All right, good. So true, false, false, false. Okay, those are your answers. All right, good. Quiz 2, number 1. Anything we use, Eileen? Resource, good. Number 2. Resources that can be replaced. Charlie?
Renewable.
Renewable resources. Good. Resources that cannot be replaced. Junior, gimana?
Non-renewable. Non-renewable.
Non-renewable resources that cannot be replaced. And last of all right, you can just give me the answer. Natural resources. Good. All right. Thank you, receiving students, for giving us your answers. All right, I'm going to collect your exercise or your homework, class. After this lesson, receiving students or receiving teachers, can you collect your children's homework, your students' homework, and go through those 10 renewable and 10 non-renewable resources. All right? Thank you. So we've done the quiz. Let's move on to our topic. All right, can we have Andrew, can you read please the statement here?
People can use resources without doing anything to them.
All right, thank you. Remember, in our previous lesson, I gave you an example of a coconut, right? The coconut, you pick the coconut from the tree without doing anything to it, right? You just get the coconut meat and you eat it, right? You're not doing anything to that resource. All right. Rachel, can you read, please? Receiving students. One volunteer to read the statement.
People in different communities have the skills and knowledge to use their natural resources to support.
All right, good. All right, everyone look up here. Now, if you have your using our resources textbook, receiving teachers, you can use those textbooks. Netizen, please, can just give this out. Two to a desk, two to a group. Please. All right, examples of how we use the environment. Sorry, not the environment, or the land. All right, is land a resource, a natural resource, class? Is land a natural resource? Yes. Land is a natural resource, receiving students. Now, who can, by looking at this picture here, all right, you give us or you tell us how land is used. Right, anyone? Receiving students? Looking at these pictures here, then you can clearly tell me how land is being used. How is land used? Come on, let's have some answers. What does this mean here, food production? All right, Paulus.
Land is used for food production.
All right, good. Land is used for food production. Nakawas?
It's used for growing food.
Good. Land is used for growing food or food production, all right? Different types of food crops, or crops, as we can say, cash crops, all right? So land is used for food production, for example, growing crops, or growing different types of crops to earn money, all right? Let's have another look. All right, if you look at the atlas, but we're not going to be looking at the atlas now, all right, class? But in our PNG Primary School Atlas, we will later be looking at that. It shows us the Papua New Guinea's, PNG's food production, right? This is an example of how land is being used. Right, minerals and energy resources, still on the PNG Atlas. Okay. All right, everyone look up here. Look at these pictures here. Okay, what does it read here, class? Okay, who can tell me what are mineral resources, or what, by looking at these pictures here? Remember, we are on the topic how land is being used. Anyone? Class, receiving students, mineral resources. Come on, class, we're not thinking. Our topic, how land is used. Okay, looking at this picture here, what is it telling us here? All right, okay, let's have Nakawas.
It's used for mining.
All right, very good. Land is also used for mining, extracting minerals out from the earth or the soil. All right? Not only food production. All right, let's have a look. All right, class, I'll read through and you just look. Okay, it says older people pass these skills and knowledge on to the younger members of the community. All right, let's say how to use the resources. Remember, natural resource plus what resource? Human resource gives you something useful to the people. All right. Such community is a truly self-sufficient one when everyone in the community helps giving their or passes their skills and knowledge to the members in the community. Self-sufficient, what does self-sufficient mean? Okay, self-sufficient meaning producing all your needs yourself. So resources, some of these natural resources, all right, some natural resources are being produced, all right. Sometimes we produce these resources by ourselves, all right, in the community. For example, when we make sago, all right, sago, making sago, what else? Building canoes. Okay, class, have you finished? Look up here, please. Okay, can we have everyone to read this paragraph here? Okay, if you look at your textbook on page 8, right? Page 8 of your using resources textbook. All right, you have a diagram of resources that are being traded. All right, give one example of resources that are being traded quickly. What's one resource that is being traded with other countries? Samuel?
Gold.
All right, gold. Okay, gold, yes. What else? Rose? Oh, sorry, Priscilla.
Copper ore.
All right, copper ore. One here.
Timber.
All right, timber, and so on. Okay, those resources on page 8 of your textbook. Can you see? All right, these resources are being traded. We trade our resources. All right, like copper ore, oil palm, coconuts. We trade with other countries, and we receive, what do we receive? Okay, we get money, and then what do we use to get with that money? I mean that money. Products that we cannot produce or we cannot manufacture. For example, we have clothing, tin fish, medicine. So our resources are being traded from Papua New Guinea. We send our resources out to other countries and we bring in other resources or other products that can be manufactured or other goods, right? So what do we call these two words? When we send things out or we receive? Okay, exports and imports. Okay, good. Okay, let's move on. All right, class, read. Ourselves. They are called imports. All right. Next, class, read. Exports. So examples of our, exports, copper, coffee. So you see these resources, other countries in the world, they need our resources. They need our coffee. They need our copper, all right? They need our oil palm. But sometimes we cannot produce these things by ourselves, or we cannot manufacture some certain goods. So what we do is we have to send these goods, all right, we send our products, so we export our resources and we import other things such as machineries and so forth. All right, it reads, most of PNG's exports are natural resources. Products or goods we import from other countries are manufactured. All right, for example, cars, machineries, clothing. We import these products or goods from other countries. Okay, give me one country, right? One country that we import from. We import goods from. Class, receiving students. Andy?
Australia.
All right, Australia. Can you give one example? What type of good or product do we import from Australia? Class?
Composed potato. English.
Potatoes. Potatoes. English potatoes. Right? Netizen, name a country and the type of good that we import.
Japan.
Japan, what?
Timber.
We import timber from Japan.
Fish. Cars.
All right, machineries or cars, yes. We import cars or machineries from Japan. All right, any other examples? Receiving students, give one example of a country that we, Papua New Guinea, imports from. Import goods or products from. Naomi? Yes.
Germany, we import shoes and coats from Germany.
All right, clothings. All right, we import clothings from Germany or parts of Europe. All right? Yes? All right. Export. Where do we send our resources to, our natural resources to? Give one example of a country that needs, that depends on our resources. Zimalin?
Japan. We export timber to Japan.
Our timber, local timber. All right, timber to Japan. We export our timber. All right, netizen. And our Nakawas.
Australia. Coffee and cocoa.
Australia.
Coffee
We
and
export
we export coffee and cocoa.
coffee and cocoa. Nakawas.
We export crocodile skin to France.
France. Crocodile skin. Right? Okay, good. All right, page 9 of your textbook, class and receiving students. All right, the map shows some of PNG's main imports and exports. All right, looking at those arrows, some of the main imports and exports. So our cocoa and copper goes all the way to Europe, West Germany or Germany. Machinery is being imported all the way from Japan. Okay. We import flour from Australia. All right, 8sis. That brings us to the end of our lesson. We just look at our points. All right, can you read from the back, class? Point number 1. Resources. It's income. Okay, your homework, class and receiving students, your homework, please. Can you copy down your homework? All right, have you finished? Okay, wait. Okay, I'd like everyone to look up here, please, class. All right, I forgot to explain this. All right, using our resources. Okay, we give an example of a coconut. Right, we said when people don't do anything to a resource, right, let's say we gave the example of a coconut. Okay, from the coconut, we have it's being eaten straight away, all right? Or if not, copra is being what? Dried, all right? Copra is being dried, drying copra, and then what happens? It goes to the processing plant where it's being processed and it comes out. The result, we have margarine, soap, and oil. These are examples, all right, of how, let's see. Okay, I have a coconut here. All right. So you look at our resource here, the coconut. People cannot do anything to this coconut. They eat it, all right, or use it to milk or cook food. It's also being, the copra is being dried and then goes to the processing plant, and then you end up with a coconut oil or soap or margarine. All right, so class, this is how our resources are being used. All right. So in our next lesson, we are going to look at land resource. All right, receiving students and teachers. In our next lesson, we will look at land resource. For now, for today, we looked at how people use their resources. And our keyword for today's lesson is self-sufficient. So, that brings us to the end of our lesson. Thank you. 8Cs, receiving school students and teachers. Good morning, 8Cs, receiving school students and teachers, and thank you for listening. Okay, thank you.